Hello, welcome to Recapping with Delora
and Ashley.
Please follow us on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter at Recapping Podcast.
Also, comment, rate, and subscribe on your favorite podcast platform. We're on all the things.
We would love to hear your ratings of the movies and shows we review.
Email us your audio file to recappingpodcast@gmail.com and we will play it during the show.
Or DM us on Instagram and we will post and read it on air.
Thank you guys so much for listening.
Thank you.
Delora, girl. We back, child. And
hey, Ashley.
We are on our second week of our new format. Hey, girl. Hey, how you feeling?
Yeah.
How you living?
I'm doing well. I'm enjoying our new format. It's nice to see our episodes broken out within the week. Something to look forward to. How about you?
Absolutely. I'm enjoying it too. I mean, I'm enjoying the fact that our episodes are shorter and like more digestible, which we've talked about, because I feel like it gives people something, a taste of, our usual, but in just a little more of a condensed form to where people are not, on their commutes for an hour and a half, like, oh, I can't finish that. 35 to 45 minutes. We got y'all. So
absolutely.
I hope we can keep this momentum going and guys continue to share out and let us know what you think.
Yes.
So, girl, today we have a few headlines and one major hot topic to discuss.
Fun.
Let's start with the latest headline that has dropped today. And this is the new Jeopardy hosts. Okay, Delora. Today, it has been rumored, but today it has finally been confirmed that Mike Richards and Mayim Bialik will take over the mantle. Exactly. So basically, Mike Richards is an executive producer, supposedly one of the guest hosts. I never saw him. He will now lead the main syndicated Jeopardy Monday through Friday show, and then Big Bang Theory star Mayim Bialik, who obviously was also Blossom, will do primetime specials and tournaments, including the college championship next year. So I guess because they've had this rotation, right? We've seen all these various hosts that have come through, including probably our favorite, LeVar Burton,
of course,
guest host. We also had, Ken Jennings, Robin Roberts, etc. Aaron Rodgers, who I thought actually did a really good job. This choice is so underwhelming to me. Like, I don't think I've been more underwhelmed since Ryan Seacrest was announced as the replacement on Live with Kelly. And I actually do think that inevitably was a good choice because Ryan has showed much more of his personality.
Absolutely.
But I don't see it with this decision. What do you think about this?
This reminds me of what they did 4 years ago on The View when they were cycling out guest hosts and you had certain repeats that you grew to love, and then they made the announcement that freaking Meghan McCain was going to take the seat, So this is what it reminded me of, because it's like, she wasn't even a guest host, not one time, and she gets the spot. Like, so yeah, highly disappointing. I was looking on Entertainment Weekly, and I was interested in knowing like who had the highest ratings, and apparently Ken Jennings was it.
Yes.
And unfortunately, the reason why our boo, Kente had low ratings was because he was on during the week of the freaking Olympics. So I just was like, that wasn't fair. I didn't appreciate that.
Was that intentional? I'm just saying.
Girl.
I'm just saying, how many Black guest hosts that we have?
Two? 3? Robin.
We had one other black guy besides LeVar. Don't ask me his name because I could not tell you right now. I don't remember what this guy did. No, it was not Neil. It was another black man. Sorry, Jeopardy fans. I'm sure you guys know. But I will just say, again, underwhelming. I feel like I was really hoping Jeopardy was going to come into a new era. Like, you have an opportunity to step into a new era. Yeah, Mayim is a little different. That's a little more exciting to me. But you're replacing.
Like they should have made her it, and I would have enjoyed that.
You're replacing one white man with another white man. Like, this does not excite me. It is 2021. Who does this excite?
Anything. No one, because I have no idea who this man is. Harper, who is this man?
Apparently, he was also a producer on Wheel of Fortune. And also he has some controversy because they were saying he had some personnel issues.
Discrimination.
Yeah. So I don't know what's going to happen. I cannot pretend like I'm some huge Jeopardy fan that watches every day. So hopefully some of the hardcore fans are a little more excited. But I can tell you from the public reaction, nobody's excited.
Definitely welcome to the cookout. So, it does mean something to us.
Alex also, when I used to watch it, he had such a way to like cut some of the guests sometimes.
Absolutely.
And read you so easily.
And he does it so well that you had to do a double take to be like, oh, yes, he played me. Got it.
So with the rest in peace, obviously, Alex Trebek, he was a legend. Absolutely. And I say one white man to another white man, and I don't mean that to be saying as if Mike Richards may not be great. Mike Richards may be great. I'm just saying I was hoping for a little more of an exciting, unexpected host that may add a different flavor.
He seems unproven.
But I also just want a different flavor. Like, when you have an opportunity to change something, why not change it up in such a way that may bring your show into the future? You know what I mean?
Breathe new life.
Exactly.
Again, Ken Jennings would have been a great replacement. You know what I mean?
I mean, he's beloved by the Jeopardy community. He will still be a producer on the show. So we'll see what happens. I'm not going to knock Mike Richards until I actually get a chance to see him in action. I'm sure Mayim is going to do her thing. It's not a sexy choice, in my opinion, but we'll see what happens, Delora. So that's our first headline. Our second headline today is on a more somber note. Christina Applegate this week revealed that she has been diagnosed with multiple sclerosis, Delora. Now, it's not as if she's the first big celebrity who has been diagnosed with multiple sclerosis. I went back and kind of looked. I had some off the top of my head, like Selma Blair, Montel Williams, singer Tamia, Richard Pryor had MS. I mean, the list kind of goes on. Jamie Lynn Sigler. But it was shocking, especially because for me, Christina Applegate is somebody that I feel like I kind of grew up watching, from Married with Children to Don't Tell Mom the Babysitter's Dead, and then recently on Dead to Me. So it was just like out of left field. And then also remember she had just got over her breast cancer.
Girl,
that she battled with, within the past few years. So I hate to see another medical diagnosis like this for her, but it seems like she's taking it in stride. She released such a great quote. She said, "It's been a strange journey, but I've been so supported by people that I know who also have this condition. It's been a tough road, but as we all know, the road keeps going unless some asshole blocks it." Like, she's keeping her sense of humor about it for sure. So obviously wishing her a speedy recovery. Any additional thoughts for you?
Yes, I immediately thought about Selma Blair, and I'm so happy to see that she reached out. I completely forgot they were both in The Sweetest Thing together with Cameron Diaz.
Yep.
Peak early 2000 fashion movie rom-com.
Absolutely.
She messaged her back on Instagram saying, "Loving you always." So nice to see that someone who's currently living with it and has had a very public progression of the disease, shown on her social media,
right,
to reach out to her in that way. But yeah, my heart kind of broke a little bit for Christina, because again, I remember her breast cancer journey. So this has to be difficult. I'm just going to go ahead and insert myself into the conversation like Meghan McCain and say, literally, we talked about this in previous podcasts. My birthday was in July. Shout out to all the cancers out there. And I had a semi-big birthday, and I went ahead and got my boobies checked. And girl, I had to go back for extra imaging. That was not fun.
Yeah.
But I had to tell myself that, okay, this is my baseline. We don't have a picture of these bad boys on file. So if they're going to have additional imaging, so be it. Thank the Lord Jesus Christ, I am okay and whole. But,
amen.
Sitting and waiting for those results were not fun.
Yeah.
I felt like in some ways I understood what she meant by saying a strange journey, because unfortunately she's already experienced some of the worst diagnoses before, right?
Mm-hmm.
And to do that again, my heart goes out to her.
Yeah. And at the age of 49, still
relatively young.
So much life to be lived. And I know a lot of people get diagnosed even in their 20s. To me, it was only 28 when she was diagnosed. And I want to correct something I said earlier. It's not like she's going to have a speedy road to recovery. This is not an illness that you get over, right? This is a journey she's going to have for the rest of her life. Yeah, she's going to have to manage her symptoms. I have a family member who has dealt with MS for 20 plus years. So to see it up close and firsthand is just a different experience. And I hope that with technology today and medicine today, that things have become better and that there's been more research and availability to help people with these sorts of diseases. And I just hope for the very best. It's difficult to talk about other people's health issues because I don't know firsthand, but Christina, I'm wishing you the very best. All right, Delora, let's lighten things up. Quentin Tarantino is our next headline, girl, and he has revealed he has revealed his level of petty, is what I'm basically saying, because this man has said that he vowed to never give money to his mother, and he stuck to it. Girl, he said, message to parents, watch how you talk to your children. During an appearance on the Moment podcast hosted by one of the Billions co-creators, he said that his mother gave him a hard time about his aspiring career before he became famous. He said, she told him your little writing career was over. I go, okay, lady, when I become a successful writer, you will never see one penny from my success. There will be no house for you. There's no vacation for you. No Elvis Cadillac for mommy. You get nothing because you said that, girl. And he said he has stuck to that. Other than kicking some dough over to her because she got into a jam with the IRS, he has never given her a dime. He said there are consequences for your words as you deal with your children. Remember, there are consequences for your sarcastic tone about what's meaningful to them. Without context, he sounds so petty. What are your thoughts on this headline?
Girl, SDE all day, small dick energy. I just feel like, sir, is it really that? Okay. What did the great songwriter say? The first cut is the deepest. Unfortunately, our families know all of the buttons in the world, and they push them with glee sometimes. Okay.
Woo, true. Speak them big facts.
But with that being said, because I grew up in the church, okay, I was taught, honor thy mother and thy father, and your days may be long upon the land that the Lord give you. Okay, so be careful, Quentin. Be careful.
Yeah, I don't know what his religious beliefs are, but I will say that when this headline popped up, my first thought was, why do some famous men have these complicated relationships with their mothers?
Mommy issues.
Like,
mommy issues.
My goodness. This is too much for me.
They come off acting like they don't like women in general.
And there's that whole weird, I don't even know what the name of the group is called, and I'm not going to put it out there for anybody doing any research, that collectively go on and talk about their hatred for women and all this and that. But I will say, I feel like though we're missing something. Like, I feel like there has to be more to this dynamic than just this moment, because
he's weird enough to where that's it. I genuinely feel like that's it.
If literally she said one thing to you one day and you have held this against her, you are on Michael Jordan's level of petty. You let one thing somebody say to you one time fuel the fire of your success, and then later on say, guess what, mom? I'm rich and famous and you're not getting a single dime, baby. Don't forget that thing you said when I was 13 years old. Remember that one time? Like, I feel like he went to his mom as a dog. She's probably like, I don't remember that. Well, I do. I was 13 years old and you told me I wasn't going to ever make it. So guess what? You never seen a dime in your life. Is he going to give her
room to apologize? Because I know what that's like. It's like, hey, I'll let you know about something that hurt my feelings. And it's like, oh, well, you get what you get.
No, that's a great point. That's a great point. Like, has his mother in the years since ever said, "Oh, I'm proud of you"? And did none of that negate that original statement? What's funny too is,
and obviously it was the fire he needed to do what he's been doing for the last 20 years.
And that's what somebody said to him, I think either during that interview or subsequently. He's like, nope, you got to be careful of your words. But what's funny is in the CNN article I'm reading, they also said he may want to be mindful of his words because he is a parent to a toddler son. So imagine if his little son is like, nah, dad, remember when I was 6 and you told me I couldn't go out to play? Well, fuck you. You know what I mean?
Girl, that's some karma. It could have just been a throwaway line too, honestly, right?
Or maybe she was having a bad day. Like, we don't know the circumstances.
And he is too old to be holding on to this same grudge.
And talking about it publicly.
At least how I felt about some things that happened in my childhood. I have given my parents grace because growth, perspective.
Exactly.
That happens with age for most people, I assume,
Girl, it's the pettiness for me. Like, again, maybe there's some other circumstances we don't know anything about, but I wouldn't have put that out there. I'll say that, Mom, I love you. Dolores' mom, she loves you. Absolutely. And we would never. Okay. So that's our third headline, and our last and final. Miss Issa Rae has released the first look trailer at her new reality show. I mean, obviously we have to say goodbye to Insecure sooner rather than later, but we got this new project and new gem to hopefully keep us occupied. Laura, it was just Tuesday, the HBO Max released the trailer. It's an unscripted series called Sweet Life Los Angeles. It will premiere on August 19th, and it follows a South Los Angeles-based friend group as they navigate life and success in their mid-20s. They are basically an entrepreneurial cast, and they have jobs ranging from music manager to fashion designer to marketing specialist. So it's Black excellence. I think that's the whole point and concept from what I could see. But what do you think about this trailer?
How did I feel about this trailer? I have to see it to have an opinion, honestly, like the actual show.
Yeah.
Because for me, it didn't move me in any kind of way. Like, I love seeing Black young people, good looking people thrive. I'm here for it, right? However, I just hope it's not going to be a cast full of toxic scammers. I believe Issa would have vetted these people in their careers, but I feel like they're living very Instagram lives. And I don't know, it should be interesting on how that imagery affects people. Hopefully it'll be motivating for the younger generation or even our generation.
Yeah, I mean, Issa definitely puts on for LA. I'll say that because yet another LA-based production. She also is taking a break from writing because she said, listen, it's going to be unscripted. I'm not putting together a writing team for this one.
Will be in the mail.
It absolutely will be
in the mail.
But I'm here for it. I mean, I'm not a big reality show watcher. There's select reality shows I watch, but this is right up my alley. Like, I want to see what this cast of Black, young, entrepreneurial, beautiful people, as you mentioned, are going to be getting into. I hope they focus more, like you said, on the motivational factors. Remember, I told you I stopped watching Real Housewives of Atlanta because I hated that we never focused on their career successes. Like, yeah, we can have some level of drama and all that, but these women are doing the damn thing.
Absolutely.
Like, you need to be putting that in to help teach the Black women and the other women and whoever's watching that show how to emulate and kind of project that level of aspirational success in their own lives. I don't just want to see them talking shit when Phaedra's out here winning awards for Lawyer of the Year and you got Candy writing songs and making money while she's sitting on the couch. You know what I mean? Like, I just hope that this does focus on that and not just be another rehash of a lot of other reality shows that we watch that focus much more on the shenanigans and who's sleeping with who than on some of the career aspirational parts that are exciting to me. So I'm here for it. I'll be tuned in. HBO Max is taking over as one of my favorite streaming services, by the way. So,
I mean, they're making the right investments in material. So
I'm with it, HBO Max.
But congrats, Issa, for your new show.
Yeah, girl, she better have gave us something real quick because she knew people was going to be in mourning after Insecure is over. It's going to be a loss for the culture for sure. All right, Delora, it is time for our one and only hot topic. And it's our one and only hot topic because Queen B deserves the floor. Miss Beyonce, Giselle, Knowles, Carter has graced the cover of Harper's Bazaar for an interview just shy of her 40th birthday next month. Delora, it was the visuals for me. It was the sassiness for me. It was the peek into a little bit of Beyonce's soul while also sticking true to who Beyonce has always been. I loved this interview. I have some highlights that I want to discuss, but hit me with your most impactful parts of this Harper's Bazaar interview from what you read and what you saw.
Oh, excellent question, Ashley. First of all, the visuals were everything. One of my favorite things on Twitter, they mentioned, so in the article, she has this diamond top with the Ivy Park jean situation. And they're like, when you're iconic, you reference yourself for iconic pictures, and it's definitely taking reference to the Dangerously in Love cover, iconic, gorgeous. Her first album. But I just love hearing about the boss side of her empire. You know what I mean? When she said that she was just tired of execs giving her reports and charts, and she had faith and confidence in herself to say, I know what the people want. Let me do it. So I'm referring to the black and white aspect. They're like, oh, our reports say that, you know, your fans don't like things in black and white. And she went out and made, If I Were a Boy music video in black and white, as well as Single Ladies in black and white. And those are literally her highest commercial success in her career, you know? Yep. So. And
a lot of people think about how much people don't know what they want until they get it, right? The idea that Beyonce has to conform to what the audience wants versus giving us things that we didn't even know we wanted. That's one of my favorite things about Beyonce.
Yes.
She constantly gives me things. I'm like, girl, I didn't even know I needed
when she said that she's in the studio and she's stacking 200 sounds on top of each other for harmonies, or finding the right, I'm like, I didn't realize she was so meticulous in the music aspect of things. Like, I feel like Beyonce doesn't get that much credit because, I mean, I've said this before and I'm not hating, but if you read the, you know, writers on some of her songs, there is a list, you know what I mean? And so the assumption is that she's not as involved, but she obviously is. And obviously we've gotten to know her and her involvement courtesy of the Homecoming documentary. So the other thing that I really did enjoy from the article was her talking about her growth as a woman, how she was so laser focused as a young woman that she pretty much said, if it wasn't towards my goal, I said no to it. So she missed out on a lot of things, but I thought it was very interesting that she said that she doesn't think young Beyonce would be able to handle the current Beyonce now. And I'm like, I can appreciate that.
It really is the sassiness for me. I loved it.
What about you, Ashley?
Girl, I had to write down some of my thoughts because I have to keep it together for my Beyonce. All right. So I wrote, in my opinion, Beyonce is the greatest living entertainer, but I've realized, especially reading this article, that unlike my idols that I had, like that we grew up with, you know, the Whitneys, the Michaels, all those, and the fact that she maintains her privacy, she feels so real to me now as I've gotten older. Like maybe it's age, but I don't like adore or idolize her. I see her humanity and I respect her talent and the gifts that she contributes. So like I've always respected, as I mentioned, her dedication to her privacy. And she speaks about that because what has saddened me so much about our idols, right, is that most of them did not necessarily have that option. They grew up in an era of excessive drug use or different things that robbed us of their gifts.
The great Whitney Houston's birthday was this week. She would have been 58 years old.
I mean, Ashley. And you know, Whitney is my GOAT. Like Whitney is the love of my musical life. So I take it so seriously, Beyonce needing to protect herself and her mental health and her well-being so that it does not fall down those same paths and that she's able to live out her life, because if something happens to Beyonce, I just don't know. I just don't know what I'm going to do musically without her. And I also love in this article, I feel like Beyonce's growth is also centered so much on her identifying, respecting, appreciating, and projecting Black excellence and Black beauty. And she talks about that whole Black rodeo and Black cowboys history that I was completely unaware of, in her inspiration for Ivy Park. And it's just another reason to like respect and appreciate who she's become as an artist and as a human being, that she constantly makes it a point to put her focus on us and on the Black community. And I think that's beautiful. And my last thing is, I love that she talked about being a CBD enthusiast, because who knew? Like Beyonce, you discovered CBD and was like, yo, it's helped me. That
also means she's absolutely already invested.
Oh, you know, that's a business that her or Jay or both are definitely.
Jay is already in it, but I'm sure she's a part of it as well. Yes.
But I just can't wait to see what Beyonce does next. Like, she talked about how she wants her 40s to be this decade of focusing on those who love her and all these things. But as a businesswoman, like, you know, she's about to do some major things probably in the next couple of decades, especially as her thoughts and her life shift away from the stage, because obviously you can only perform to the extent that Beyonce performs for so long.
That she even talked about the injury or the effects of performing for so many years on her body.
Yep.
You know, I assumed that she would probably be in great shape, but I didn't think she would have some serious wear and tear like she, you know, discussed in the article. I'm excited to see what other artists she's going to have under her umbrella, because we stand for Chloe and Halle, you know.
100,000%.
Cannot wait for the new Little Mermaid movie to come out. Like, I can't
wait for everything. So. I'm going to the Lights On Festival in New York in October, and Chloe is performing by herself. So I'm curious to see what her set is going to be. She's performing by herself. So I'm super curious. Yeah. I mean, not that I don't want them to split up at all, but I think they also have their individual gifts and talents that I want them to embrace. Yeah.
It's like Tia and Tamara. Like, they're doing their own thing and they're completely fine with it.
Exactly. Like, I watched their little tea time on Instagram. Like, I'm invested. Like, I love them. But I say all that to say that I think what this article gave me was not only more insight into Beyonce, but like it helped me to even take a step back and think about myself and my own life and all those things, right? Like, because Beyonce has been with us for so long, and she's been so entrenched in our lives that it's like, well, Beyonce, if you're about to be 40, what does this mean? And where was I when I first listened to Destiny's Child? Like, I remember singing Destiny's Child songs vividly in elementary school. I remember where I was.
The first time I heard Bills, 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 it was on a regular radio in the house and the signal was weak. And I was like, what is this song? Also coming as a child who was not allowed to listen to quote unquote secular music most of my childhood. So I was like, yo, I still had great taste in music, right? But I was like, yo, what was this? Who was this?
I remember where I was when the Lemonade visuals dropped. I was in a hotel in Atlanta, and thank God, because I didn't have cable at the time. And I was like, oh shit, Beyonce, what does this mean? What does this mean?
The Super Bowl. We actually talked about that. You remember we were like, yo, what does this mean about Beyonce and Jay-Z?
No, seriously, I was not ready. So she has been such a big part of my life, of your life, of our collective lives in entertainment, that I think it was just a great, unexpected treat to be able to read this from her and just get a little more insight. Beyonce, my favorite image I have on right now, she has the black cowboy hat on. She has like kind of the net bodysuit on. Like, she's fabulous. That's just our little appreciation moment for Queen B. And keep doing your thing, girl. And Delora, that is it for headlines and hot topics and for our episode today. But obviously, we're going to be back with a new episode, guys, next week. Delora, what are we going to be doing next week?
Vivo! So excited. The brand new animated movie by Sony Pictures, currently on Netflix. Vivo, original music and lyrics by the great Lin-Manuel Miranda. So excited to be discussing that film with you, Ashley.
Me too, girl. Awesome, guys. Stay tuned for our next drop, and we'll see you then. Bye.